Everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to Bozmos2. This is turn 73, and this is our kind of like surprise last turn, right? I will have discussed this in the prior turn. Basically the lag patch came too late. There were too few people interested in getting back up, and we just couldn't. We had so many people staling, so many people trying to sub, so many people out of the game that it was to the point to where we, out of the close to 30 people that were still 30 nations that were still alive, only about 15 or so were still actively like taking turns. And there's some reasons for some of those, but a lot of them were just stales, and it happens, right? So the decision was made to just go ahead and call the game, and a couple of people decided, hey, if we're going to call it, let's try to end it with a bang. Let's do some big battles. So our scenario, we were able to try to get a situation with some big battles against against Foray Flegra near Old Man, and against Atlantis near End. So that's going to be the focus of this episode. I'm going to kind of walk you through what we were able to get over there and what our kind of plan is going to be. Okay. We'll cursory go through stuff real quick. We got attacked by Mind Hunt but survived. We had a bunch of movements, teleports, cloud trapezes, etc. Foray took Pastena from us. We had a little battle in Farron as we're moving around. Watched a battle between Lemuria. We a bunch of where did this happen? Why did that? Oh, this was accidental. I did not realize I was trying to move through Niflheim's territory, and we bumped in Middle Satis. So that was kind of a interesting thing. We lost 20 armored warriors just on our way towards the battlefield chosen by Atlantis. So that's a good sign, right? We beat Indies and Griffa on our way towards the battlefield for a Flegra. We took the fortress in Anramark. We can watch this real quick, but it's not really anything particular. Our guys run forward. We are able to get Light of the Northern Star up. Our Star Priests start to, shoot the shit out of things here or there. And it's pretty simple, easy peasy. Nothing really happening here. This is a very minor shtick. So this is kind of a thing, and this is really gonna affect. I don't know. Maybe there's something that I can do. But someone put up darkness. Now this is technically against the rules of the game, I think, but because this is one of the spells that was banned. But at the same time, it's the last turn, and I don't think the person was aware, so everyone's just kind of just like, meh, whatever, right? But I don't think we can do anything about it currently. Is kind of so whatever. There's probably some spell that I can use in the battles, maybe like Solar Brilliance. No, you have to have the sun active to do Solar Brilliance. I don't think that provides light. Look, I've been doing these turns for a couple hours now. I'm just not going to worry about it. If the enemy, so we're facing against Atlantis, which probably wants to see, and we're facing against Foray Flegra, which also probably wants to see. So, if they put up something to where it helps against the darkness, yay. Otherwise, we're all just gonna be in the dark. I think there's some like give spirit sight stuff though. I might have to look into it, but I don't think I have the time. Unexpected event. We got another crazy. I can only imagine how many of these have spawned for King Govia. It seems pretty strong. We had an assassination attempt against our sorceress. She survived. Good job, sorceress. What'd she do? Body ethereal? Yeah, so now he just can't hurt her. Luck? Okay, now you're kind of going overboard, right? Right. She's just gonna whap this man to death? No, she burning hands him. Nice. Okay. Unexpected events. Barbarians caught. Okay, and then we have just patrolling troops everywhere, and because of the darkness cast, our income has tanked. So we actually lost people this turn. It's whatever though. It's the last turn of the game. We're just gonna go over what the fights are, and we'll. Okay. So we're fighting in Midria in 560, right? And we're fighting in Ukrema 620. Fighting against Atlantis, who has a big ol' stack of Shamblers and Ether Warriors. It's got some War Shamblers and Lizard Warriors over here. Gonna probably be bringing a whole bunch of probably everything, honestly, but we know a whole lot of water, a fair amount of nature, probably a fair amount of astral, etc. We are bringing everything that we can, but it is not much. We've got a lot of mages, but we don't have a lot of everything else. You can see we have absurd numbers of gems on people, and to the point to where we would have more gems on people, but I just stopped producing things or stopped putting gems on people because I was just like, fuck it, right? Who cares anymore? So we are moving a big portion of our army from Tyrrhenia into Midria. Okay, this is the bulk of our actual infantry. It's got about 108 units here, a fair number of Chacoan armored warriors, a few archers, some gnomes, weird, right? Not a good front line at all. Gonna get destroyed even after they get protection buffs like Army of Lead. But you know, it's what we got. So in this army we have the vast majority of our communion slaves for this particular battle. We've got upwards of 32 communion slaves. I think we've got like 33 or 34. So okay, cool. We're going to have Army of Lead up, which is going to give us magic resistance and natural protection 20. That's going to be good. We're also going to put up Ground Army to give us a little bit of shock resistance. Also in here, we have Sorceress 2, who is going to be putting up Warriors of Muspelheim to get us cold resistance. So fingers crossed. And then she's actually going to be doing some Gift from Heavens. So that's the only like real... Ooh, got a guy down here. I've got more gear I need to kind of like spread out, unfortunately. Oh, I can't over here. Gotcha. Oh, I did. I forgot this guy. Unfortunate. And does he have... He has just a single gem. Can we steal a nature gem over here? Like we probably can. Let me fix this guy up real quick. We'll steal a nature gem. And what we'll do is we will... put a Strength of Gaia, a Summon Earth Power, and probably a Personal Regeneration, and just have him attack rear. Okay. So he'll do some stuff. Coming over here to Verdant Steppe, this is where another good portion of our units are from. We've got 126 units here. This is kind of a strange amalgamation of units. We've got a very small amount of Katsina warriors here, augmented by some Katsina ogres. We have them kind of spread out in a flanking. Remember, we've got a long line of, not long, but a line of Chacoan armored warriors. We're going to have a center of Katsina. We're going to have a couple of ogres on one side. We're going to have some bears and some Chacoan elites on another. And then we've got other people in the wings, right? More armored warriors and spear warriors in the corner, just in case there's some battlefield summons or things like that. Some more over in another corner. With archers just kind of spruced throughout, right? We've got a couple of archers. We've got a single Displacer Beast in the back. I would love to have more Displacer Beasts. They seem really, really cool, actually. Glamour, bunch of attacks. These guys seem pretty interesting, right? I would really have loved to have been able to summon more of them. I think they probably would have been one of our go-to things as we went into towards turn 100, basically. Is start shoveling a couple of these out per turn. Anyways, so we've got a lot going on here. I'll just kind of go through. We're covering every buff that we can think of to cover. We're putting up Wind Guide for the army, right? We are putting up. We're doing a whole bunch of personal buffs and things like that for our communion. We're putting up Power of the Spheres to bolster the communion as well. We're doing a lot of body ethereal spam. In theory, that could be pretty useful against what we are trying to go up against. We have Star Priests amongst our Katsina Ogres, amongst our Katsina Warriors, near the Bears and Elites, around that line of armored units. They're all kind of spamming out body ethereal as much as they can to try to get as many units covered with that. I think that will... That combined with regeneration, combined with our bless, combined with army of lead, combined with fog warriors, etc., is hopefully going to give our infantry a fighting chance, but probably not, because I think we can expect all of these buffs from the enemy as well. So fingers crossed. Whole bunch of body ethereal. We are putting up Life After Death. This is our only Deathcaster, basically, in the entire nation. I mean, we have some Deathcasters, but this is the only one that's going to be able to get anywhere, because she can enter a communion, and with a 30-something stat communion, she can actually get pretty high. She's got a whole shit ton of death gems. In fact, let's just fucking load her up. Why not? After she does Life After Death, which should be a nice battlefield spell for us, she's gonna do some earth power just to kind of help mitigate things, and do some Horde of Skeleton spam probably. Hopefully the communion will stay alive for a long time, and her skeletons can add a nice bulwark to the army. We've got Hmong Katsinas out here doing some Army of Giants here or there. I think that's going to be very helpful in assisting our communion staying alive and healthy. And then generating some Creeping Doom just to get more bodies on the floor. I think the big issue with this army is it's got a whole lot of mage support. It's probably going to do okay there, but it does not have the infantry core to survive, right? So we're trying to compensate for that. Amusingly, from what I've heard of Atlantis thinks he has the opposite problem, where they have a whole bunch of good, strong infantry, but not as many mages as they would want. So we'll have to see how it kind of flips. Sorceress 13's out here putting up Liquid Body, Protection from Cold, and then we're actually going to throw up Slow Motion, which I think could be a pretty interesting battlefield buff, and Healing Rain. I don't think Healing Rain is actually going to be that good for us, but yeah, it is what it is. We'll see how it goes. Just Mong. This one has not been named. Is doing some more Creeping Doom. We've got more Body Ethereal. We've got a bunch of Moss Body. We've got a Curse of Stones coming out, just to see how that goes. We've got a Phoenix Power, and this is going to be kind of strange, but at the very tail end of this, we have a Swallowing Earth. So Swallowing Earth hits the entire battlefield, right? And it's basically just Earth Grip, but for the entire battlefield. We are going to mass flight ourselves and then Swallowing Earth and hope that we kind of catch them out and don't get caught out ourselves. But I don't know that that's gonna happen. We'll see. More Body Ethereal. We're doing some Aerofend from one of our Banshees, and then some Air Elementals. More Body Ethereal, whole bunch of Body Ethereal. Silver 2 is one of our important mages. He is doing Storm, and then he is doing Mass Flight. Keep in mind, we don't want the Mass Flight so that we can actually fly. That is not the issue that we want, right? But I'm pretty sure if you have Flight, you can't be affected by things like Earthquake or Earth Grip or what have you. And if you can, well, whoops, we fucked up, whatever. We're putting up some Light of the Northern Star, more Body Ethereal. We're doing some Protection from Fire just to make sure that so we're doing battlefield buffs, but we're doing specific buffs because these are gonna increase our communion survivability. We're doing some Phoenix power, and then this, I don't know if this is actually going to work this way, but I'm curious as to whether or not this works like Reinvigoration does from Blood. But there's this spell called Fuel the Fire, where you can burn a fire gem and all of your fatigue is removed. So I'm curious as to whether or not you can use this to do that to the communion. So we're going to try that a couple times, see how it goes. And then we've got Will of the Fates coming out. We've got Doom coming out. We've got a Spare Fog Warriors coming out. So yeah. I say Spare Fog Warriors. I think that might be the Fog Warriors. Which, if that is the case, is unfortunate. But oh, wait. Yeah, it is. Well, that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. We don't really have a whole lot of other options. We couldn't get any of our crystal sorceresses over here, and we don't have as many silvers available here. This crystal sorceress is coming in. I just have her set to communion slave. It's kind of whatever. I probably should not. We have another block of units coming in from Smacia. This group is putting up Warriors of Niflheim, doing a bunch of quickening. Quickening, I think, is very, very strong in DE. Nice AoE. Grants quickness, gets increased attack power, which is going to let us repel things, increase defense, etc. Good stuff. We're also putting up Foul Vapors, doing a bit of Legions of Steel and Strength of Giants spam. We have a bunch of Sun Priests that are spruced throughout our lines, right? They are doing things like Skill of Heroes and Fire Shield. And then Fireball spam, basically. They're just trying to be useful where they can be, basically. Is that the right thing that I'm thinking of? Yeah, Inferno Warriors is too high for them to cast, basically. Actually, it's not. I redo this real quick. Inferno Warriors, all of these guys. Let's do this. Fire Shield. Inferno Warrior. Fire Shield. Inferno Warriors is basically mass Fire Shield. Which is fun. Right? Okay, so we're doing some of that. Doing more quickening. After that, our Sun Priests are just, casting Fireball, hoping they can actually do some damage. We've got some Moss Body coming out. Divine Blessing, Serpent's Blessing, Howl, etc., etc. We've got more Army of Giants coming in specifically from this guy, this Monkatsina. More Strength of Steel, or Strength of Giants, Legions of Steel, etc. More Quickening, etc. So, you good? And then we have a unit over here that is coming in with boots and teleporting in, because that's the only way they could get in. 5 sorceresses, and they're basically all set up to do Master, Communion Master, Summon Earth Power, just to help take the edge off, and then Gift from Heavens. So the hope is that we can do just in the scripting phase with this many Gift of Heavens, actually just like do a whole bunch of fucking damage to whatever infantry he has. Probably not. We're probably gonna, hurt ourselves as much as we hurt him. But we'll see how it goes. Just trying to be fun, trying to throw everything that we can out. We've got a lot of, by the way, I've still got a lot of items to throw on people. So that's gonna happen, but I'm trying to figure that out last kind of like minute. And I'm trying to get this fucking turn done, basically. I've been working on this turn for like 3 or 4 hours now. So, that is what's happening over in Midria. In Old Man, it's much the same, right? We're basically doing all of the same things. It's just a different situation. We've got a little bit less as far as Mage Core goes, but we've got way more as far as Army goes. We've got way more Ketsinas. Way more Ketsinas. a whole bunch more regular units, a whole bunch more archers, etc. So we're trying to take advantage of that. We're putting in things like flaming arrows because of that. And I'm just gonna gloss over whatever the bigger things are. We're doing a whole bunch of Inferno Warriors because we've got these Kingob crazies here, so they can get up to Fire 3 very easily. So we're putting Inferno Warriors hopefully all over these Katsinas, and then Skill of Heroes as well, right? We're doing all of the other stuff. We're doing Ravenous Swarm. I didn't do Ravenous Swarm in the other group because we were trying to use Undead in the other group, and I don't know. We're not using Undead over here, but I was like, maybe they will, so we'll just put it up just to see. We're doing a bunch of Air Elementals over in this group compared to the other group. We're doing way earlier Fog Warriors, etc. We're doing a Fanaticism over here because we have our Prophet over here, so that's good. Relief is in both sides. We're doing Gaia's Warding because we don't have Mass Regeneration. We're doing that on both sides. Serpent's Blessing on both sides. Howls on both sides. Reliefs on both sides. Warrior of Muspelheim. Warrior of Niflheim on both sides. Ground Army on both sides. Will of the Fates on both sides. Doom on both sides. Army of Lead on both sides. You get the picture, right? Whole bunch more crystal sorceresses and things like that over here. So trying to take advantage of that with things like Air Elementals and Thunderstrike spam. So we've got a fair amount of that coming out. But we still have some Gift from Heavens. Gift from Heavens is basically this army stuff. Thunderstrike and Air Elementals is kind of this army stuff. And then we have way more Wuyas over here, right? So some of our Wuyas are set to just spam spells because they've got more spell-oriented gear on, and they've got higher like nature or earth or what have you. But others are set to attack, so we'll see how they do when they get in the mix. Our god Yona is gonna be there. He's gonna be out of Dominion, which is is what it is. He is set to. I don't want him on advanced and cast spells. I just want him on cast spells. Well, we'll have advanced and cast spells. He's also doing the Swallowing Earth trick. We're doing Mass Flight from. Got silver. What are these two? Now we're doing Mass Flight there. Same type of situation, basically, right? We're not trying to actively fly. We're just trying to get to the point to where we don't get affected by something, right? He's gonna have a crap ton of astral power. I'm actually really, really worried about him doing a time, like having a, because we've seen him with faster casting stuff. I am going to predict that he's gonna do a time stop, fucking mass enslave, and it's probably gonna fuck us up. We don't have great magic resistance. And if we don't get the Army of Lead off before, then we're probably fucked. But it is what it is. So I'm going to throw these items on people. And we're basically going to throw every item we have on someone as best we can. But that is going to be it for this turn, basically. So next turn will be the final turn, and we're really just going to watch these two battles and dissect them, and then kind of talk about the overall game, how I feel about Chaco, what I would do differently with Chaco, would I play Chaco again, etc. And then we'll go from there. It's been fun. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye, everybody.